Welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is a story time. Get ready with me, chit chat, whatever you want to call it, girl. That's what it is. Oh, I always do this. I always come out here with no mirror and think I'm gonna get my makeup done. Girl, get it together. I'm gonna prime my face and then I'm gonna go get my mirror because how could I do my makeup if I can't see? So it's very early, you know. Noli is still sleeping, thank God. The girls are going to school. It's the last week of school. Can you believe it? Like, my babies are graduating. Ah! They're graduating. They both have their commencement ceremonies, and I'm so excited and happy for them. Stacey's graduating to grade 1. What? And Belle is graduating to the next level of kindergarten. Yeah, super exciting times. They're excited. They keep asking me about their little dresses that they're gonna wear, and they keep going into my closet trying to get the dress. I'm like, girl, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. Anyway, let me go get the mirror. So let's talk about why I haven't posted in how many days? Well, I've posted since then. Let's talk about I haven't filmed in 11 damn days, okay? So the last video I filmed was the story time. Posted after that, but I only posted to members only 6 days ago. But it was a video that I had recorded in January, okay? I had not filmed for 11 days. The reason I had not filmed was because, baby, I got laryngitis and freaking tonsillitis. This is like my 3rd or 4th time getting tonsillitis. At this point, cancel the tonsils. They need to just come out, because why the heck did I get tonsillitis out of nowhere? Or was it out of nowhere? If you want details about that situation, you're gonna have to join my membership, because that is a whole entire situation as to how and why I got laryngitis and tonsillitis, and I'm still being medicated. Look how big these pills are. Ginormous, okay? And so this pill is called Augmentin. It's an antibiotic. It was 14 tablets. And so you have to take, obviously, all of them. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm better now, you still got to finish the pack. And so today will be my final pill. I missed 1 day. Don't ask me how, but I did. So that's actually why I'm still taking them, because I missed a day. Yesterday, I forgot that I was supposed to be taking them. I don't know how. Just, girl, yesterday was crazy, which I'll talk about as well today. But pretty much, your girl got tonsillitis. That was no coincidence, okay? Like, literally no coincidence that I got tonsillitis. It's honestly insane. Pure insanity. Story time / journal entry for my members, and so my members are going to be seeing that like after this video is uploaded. Probably I'm filming that after I filmed this video. 11 days ago I got tonsillitis, and so that is why I never filmed anything after I filmed that video, because I got sick right after I posted that. Pretty much the girl was out of commission. I'm talking, my ear was hurting, my throat, like this ear, my entire throat, but like mainly this side of me, okay, the left side. I was not impressed, but it was for good reason, okay? Tonsillitis for good reason. Yes, absolutely, it was for good reason. So yeah, I had tonsillitis. If you can hear, I'm still a little nasally, but all is well with me and the Lord. That's where I've been. That's why I haven't posted, in case you were wondering. Maybe you weren't wondering, maybe you didn't notice that I had kind of disappeared, but that's what happened to me. And I'll insert a video on how my voice sounded on the, maybe, was it I think it must have been the 4th day, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go to the doctor. I can't live like this. I gotta go to the doctor and get me checked out, okay? So it's Tuesday, June 18th. It's about 6 a.m. I don't know if it's 6 yet, but it's 6 a.m. And as you can hear, I have no voice. That being said, as you can clearly see by the title of this video, it says that I gave away all my earthly and worldly possessions, and you're probably like, what the hell, Bo? Yeah, I sure the frig did. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. So, as you guys know, I keep, why is the left one not working? I'm so sorry if the audio was just completely terrible. I didn't realize my microphone was not pushed all the way in, but luckily we caught it 7 minutes within filming and not at the end of this thing, okay? I think I was talking about how I gave away all my things. If you've been following my little story with a close eye and close ear, then you've heard me say a million times over that God moved me to Jamaica. I didn't move myself. You know, those that get it, those that don't. But like, I really didn't plan this move, right? It just came out of nowhere very fast, had no time to think, had no time to plan or prepare. It very much gave doomsday. I was just following the Holy Spirit and listening to his instructions. And, you know, while everything was happening, I was actually praying, and I was like, God, anything that I ain't supposed to do, please block it, okay? Because I ain't got time. Okay? I really don't. I'm not interested in shenanigans at this stage of my life. Like, I'm not. So, you know, block it. God say blocking stuff that, you know, I'm not supposed to do, right? Like, it could be very small. It could be as small as if I want to go to the beach one day and I'm not supposed to go for whatever reason, he will literally block and prevent me from going, and I never ask why. I be praying for God to block me. Like, literally, like, stop me, Lord, if I'm moving like outside of your will, right? So that was what I was praying while I was preparing to move, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Now, if you've been following the story, then you've heard me say that I was searching high and low for a place in Ottawa, but just outside of where I was living, because I was paying a pretty penny for my place. I was a single parent. I had obviously one income, but I got 3 kids, no external help. So I was just like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. I can't, you know, paying for this, that, and the third, because the lifestyle was very much expensive, right? From, you know, Karen land, okay? So from, you know, my house to my car, it was just really pricey. Giving too much. Like, it was just a lot. And I really just was not trying to be, you know, doing that on my own. Now, had the Lord sent me a nice man, okay, a nice you know, papi chulo, I would not have been like, yeah, no, I'm not trying to pay $3,000 rent. Like, it didn't make sense that I lived in a 5-bedroom house, you know, where my kids essentially share a room because they're that close. Like, they're so close in age, they don't want to be in their own rooms. So it didn't make sense that I was paying for a 5-bedroom house and it's only me, my mom, and the kids, right? So, you know, a 3 or 4-bedroom house would have sufficed. And obviously somewhere where I have an office or somewhere to work, you know. I was trying to figure it out. Now, obviously, the money was not funny, so I was able to afford the place, but I just wanted to condense because I just felt like I was spending a lot, because my house was $3,000, my car was another $1,000 per month, I think. Like, it was just a lot. And then groceries and, you know, regular expenses and blah blah blah. Like, it was just a lot. And I'm like, no, this is ghetto as hell. I'm not trying to be, you know, living like this. So I tried to nip it in the bud and figure something else out, but I was getting blocked. Okay, so I'm trying to find me a little place, and at the same time, if you were a member at that time, you know that initially in the previous year, I had ended the year saying, like, I'm going to be going on this bougie world tour. Okay, I was supposed to go to all these places, and I'm planning this out. There's video documentation of this. Okay, like, I'm literally like supposed to go one place every single month, and then in the summertime, once Say was done school, then I was supposed to come to Jamaica for 2 months and then go back home, and keep traveling. Okay, I was supposed to go to Renaissance. Like, I was supposed to do a lot of things. Okay, I was gonna do Renaissance in Houston because I love a good concert now. But when Renaissance was coming, no, not even when Renaissance was coming up, shortly before the tickets went on sale, God told me I'm not going to Renaissance, but he never explained to me why. And I was like, what you mean I'm not going? What do you mean I'm not going to Renaissance? I was confused, but God knew that I was moving to Jamaica and I didn't know. So when he told me I wasn't going to Renaissance, I was a little disappointed because I'm like, oh, I had big plans. Okay, but at this point, he don't give me any other instruction. He don't tell me you're not going to Renaissance because by the time Renaissance rolls around, you're going to be stuck in Jamaica. He didn't tell me all that. He just let me know gently, girl, you're not going. And so I was like, okay, I'm obedient. So, you know, I just took it on the chin. I was like, all right, I'm not going, I guess. I stopped thinking that I was going. I knew I was not going, and that was just the end of that. Like, I wasn't gonna fight him on it, that's for sure. I don't, listen, one thing about me, I don't argue with God, okay? If God say, do this, do that, or whatever it is, I'm gonna just do it and then ask questions. I don't ask questions and then do it. I just do it and then ask questions later, or he reveals to me later why he said what he said. And so that's what happened with Renaissance, right? And sorry if the story's all over the place, because I'm really like, I'm not going off a script. I'm just telling y'all, you know, the things that have happened and occurred and why I gave all my worldly possessions away. So yeah, he knew I was going to Jamaica. I had no idea. So he tells me very early on, maybe October of 2022, that, or September, I don't even know when it was. Okay, it was before the tickets went on sale though. He told me that I'm not going, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. After that, I still proceeded to be trying to find a new home in Canada because I knew that I was going to be traveling. So I thought, okay, I'm planning out where I'm going every month. Why I hadn't been traveling sooner was because I thought that my passport had been expired. And so I didn't think I could go anywhere. But then when I decided I wanted to do this world tour, I was like, I need to get my passport, dig it out the crates so that I can renew it. And I saw that I still had a year left on there. I said, oh, not a year. I said, girl, I could have been traveling. I could have been in these streets, okay, meeting my subscribers, because that's what the whole tour was about, meeting my members. I was like gonna go to my member cities. You know, I was really excited for that, and they were excited for that because I had announced it. Girl, I put it out into the atmosphere and I was ready to go. Okay, I was going to Marshall's, Home Sense, all these places, getting my little suitcases in order. You know, I was getting ready to go on my little trips. That was the big plan, okay? And, you know, heaven was up there laughing at me because they knew what I did not know. At the end of that year, which was 2022, I said, I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to be traveling. So then, you know, I sat and I looked at my money and I said, yeah, let me get into a smaller place so that I have even more money when I'm traveling. I could do my thug thizzle, right? Because if I'm supposed to go to, you know, do my hotel or Airbnb in a different city every single month, I need to make sure the money is great, okay? I can't pay $3,000 rent and then be paying $3,000 trip. That don't make no type of sense. So I'm trying to condense, make myself a little bit smaller because I ain't gonna be home. My darling, that was the plan. That was the MO. My first stop was Los Angeles, somewhere I've never been. You know, the girlies are always having fun in Los Angeles. All the YouTubers are there. You already know. Everybody's always ranting and raving about LA. But I don't know the difference between LA County and LA whatever the frig. I don't know. I wasn't sure where I was going to be at. But I got ready for my LA trip because that trip was booked for February 5th. A lot was happening around that time, and I was starting to be real uncomfortable and didn't want to leave my kids because I had a restraining order at the time, right? I didn't feel comfortable leaving my kids because I found out that I was being stalked online, and a lot happened. Like, my members know I'm not really going to rehash all that stuff, but like, I just didn't feel safe. There was unhinged activities going on with people's girlfriends and people, the fly monkeys situation, right? And so I was just like, oh crap, I can't leave my kids and, you know, go. I don't feel safe. And so I had emailed the police officer that was in charge of the restraining order and stuff. I had, you know, emailed him and told him what was going on. But you know how these police get down. They don't give a damn about nothing, okay? They tried to make you seem like you're freaky crazy. So I was just like, all right, I'm not doing this. Was being prompted that I'm probably not going to Los Angeles, despite the fact that my hotel is booked. Sorry, not my hotel. My Airbnb is booked. My flight is booked. The people that I was traveling with, flights were booked. Everything was booked, yeah. I'm ready to get gone to LA. I have my clothes put on my bed. I had pulled all these items from my closet because I was vlogging the whole situation. Like, there's videos in my membership where I'm vlogging getting ready to go to Los Angeles, right? And so this is like January. But God kind of lets me know, girl, you're not going to Los Angeles. And I'm like, what you mean I'm not going to Los Angeles? But I was supposed to go to Los Angeles, and I was supposed to go to, what was I supposed to go the next month? I don't know if it was Atlanta. The next month was Atlanta because I wasn't going to start traveling till February. And my cousin's birthday is in March and he lives in Atlanta. And so I was going to go over there in March. And then in April, baby, I was scheduled to go to freaking Ibiza. Listen, baby, I was ready to be booked on these planes and very busy. Did any of that happen? No, ma'am. And when I really sat and thought about all the stuff that led up to me coming to Jamaica, I was just like, this is insane. Like, absolutely insane. The whole point is I was trying to find a home in Canada. First of all, mother's credit is A1. Mother's money, bread, very long. Okay, shout out to God. Shout out to God. Listen, the money is long. The credit is A1. What do you mean I'm not finding a place? I'm confused. And first of all, obviously the place has to be kind of perfect, you know, because I love the house that we lived at, but it just was not, it didn't make sense anymore. As a single mom, my big old 5-bedroom office, basement, 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, like it was too, ooh, not the nail and popped off. It was too much. And so, you know, I'm trying to find me a place. So me and my mom were going to different places around Ottawa, looking at places, putting our application in, not hearing nothing. This one lady, I had to literally harass her for her to send me the application. Did she send me? No, it was very much giving racism. They didn't want my black ass in their building. I don't know, girl. But that was the Duchess Apartments. Brand new apartments. They had just renovated them or whatever. Very cute, very, you know, cute little apartment. And because I knew that I'd be traveling, like, I'm not even really gonna be up in there. So them being racist is crazy, you know, allegedly. So I'm like, what do you mean I'm not finding me a place? Like, this is insane, Mom. Why is there so much blockages? Like, this is the thing. I asked for God to block me. I didn't know he would go, I didn't know he would go block me from finding a place in Ottawa. To be very honest, I don't even really recall when Jamaica started to become a thing, because it happened so fast, like so fast. When you're moving to a different house, let alone a different country, you don't just pick up and move there in the matter of a month. It's not normal. And that's how I knew that we weren't doing it in our own strength, because usually if you're gonna move somewhere like that, you would have at least 6 months to a year. You plan that out, girl. We didn't plan nothing. You plan that out. But that's not what happened. I can't really explain to you guys the different ways that God talks to me, because he talks to me in a lot of different ways, and it's just my job to be present in the moment and know when he's speaking. And so I can't explain to you how he, you know, told me where to move, how to move. It was just a supernatural thing, right? I knew it wasn't my damn idea because it came out of nowhere. I didn't research it. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going. There would be these times where there would be blocks, and every time there would be a block, I would have to go and sit and just close down everything, because there was a lot of the time other people were in the mix that were not supposed to be in the mix, and they were clouding the area, and God kept calling me away to like whisper to me and tell me what moves to make and what to do. That was happening quite a bit, because initially he let me know that we'd be moving and not within my country. I was like, okay, well, I was just gonna put my family on a plane and get to Jamaica and figure it out. But he was like, that is not how it's gonna go, girl. But I didn't realize that at first, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just moving with the Holy Spirit, right? So not really sure how to do anything. I had only been to Jamaica, 3 times. One being when I was 9 years old. Like, obviously I have family here. Obviously I'm from here, but like, I don't know Jamaica. To be moving to a new country is insanity. Like, where do they do that at? You don't just move to a country you ain't never been. It was just outlandish. And the thing too is, my mom, despite that she's from here as well, she's only visited since she's been in Canada. She came to Canada when she was a child, and she's been there. She was there for like 50 odd years. She's visited Jamaica, but she's never even had the desire to come back here to live. Jamaica was like a pain place for her. You know what I mean? Like, she just was not interested in coming to Jamaica and living here and being a local. Like, that wasn't on her bingo card at all. Like, not even to retire. She never thought that she would leave Canada and live in Jamaica. So it was on neither one of our radars, right? And so that's how we were like, why are we both saying yes to this? Why are we in agreement with this move to Jamaica thing? Like, it was just weird. And when they're not flowing, God would be like, get away from everybody, go sit in your room. So I would go sit in my room and he'd be like, you need to do this and you need to do this. And I would be like, okay. So one day I'm getting ready to go, I think to Walmart. And I go to lay my baby hair. And as I'm laying my baby hairs, I hear God tell me I gotta go to Jamaica by myself. He's like, go to Jamaica to find a place. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? And so when God speaks, it's very gentle, like, and calming. If you spend enough time with him, you'll know when he's saying something. But like, there was a lot of noise because I had one of my siblings was in the middle of it, you know, doing too damn much. A lot was going on and too many people were getting involved. I was trying to book flights to go, but I kept getting blocked. And so at this point, this is when I have prayed for blockage, right? I kept getting blocked to book these flights. And so I'm like, okay, what is going on? And so what would happen was there would be like a flight for a certain day, but it would be like 4 seats in business class, but that would mean that one of us would have to sit in like economy or something, which made no sense. I'm not gonna make my mom sit in economy and me and the kids are in business class living our best life. But no. And so every time I would try to book a flight, there would be some weird thing like that going on. And so at that point, it was just like chaos and noise and like static is how I can explain to you. It was like my brain was being overstimulated. And so I was like, I'm not doing this. So I put my iPad down that day, and my sister had been over at my house, and like I said, in the damn mix, like the damn Kool-Aid, God was like, stop doing what you're doing and go to your room. Okay, I put my iPad down and I'm like, I'm not trying to book no flights, I'm not doing nothing, screw this, okay, because it's too noisy here. Like, it's too noisy. I can't even hear myself think. Everybody's going a mile a minute trying to make the plans that I already know I'm not planning, right? So one thing God gonna give you is strategy. Okay, so this day I'm like, okay, screw this, because I'm trying to book a flight for me and my kids and my mom, and at this point I have no plan. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm thinking what I'm doing is I'm gonna book the Airbnb with me, my mom, and my kids, and figure it out once I get to Jamaica, which made absolutely no sense. And so this is the day I was like, yeah, no, I'm not even gonna think, because every time I even go to book flights, it's not even working. Like, it's not working. So I say, everybody shut up. I turn off my laptop or my iPad. I tell everybody to leave me damn alone. I said, I'm not making no more moves. No more moves. And so I think this is the same day that I had gone, you know, I was like, I need to go to Walmart for something. I go upstairs to get ready, and he tells me that I need to go to Jamaica alone. Tells me I'm going to do a 2-week trip, and I'm going to find a place when I go. Remind you, at this point, I'm against, okay? Up until that day, I was completely against leaving my mom and my kids at my house because I knew I was being stalked. So I was like, I'm not leaving them, but God in that moment let me know they're gonna be fine, but this is what you have to do in this moment. You gotta be stealth. Don't tell nobody you going nowhere. Don't say nothing. Do what I tell you to do. Go on your little trip. I've already secured a place for you, okay? You just gotta trust me. And I'm like, all right, because at this point, I'm trying to find a place in Canada and it ain't working. So here's this, you know, different opportunity. At this point, I had canceled my Los Angeles trip. I had gotten back 50% of my Airbnb money. Literally, the final day that I was going to be able to even get any money back is the day that I realized that I had 3 hours left before the clock ran out, and I got back 50% of my Airbnb money. So at this point, LA is canceled, and there is a whole new situation brewing, okay? I'm just taking in everything God is saying to me, okay? And I'm just taking it as fact, because what else can I do but take it as fact? I know how God be moving and working and stuff, so I'm just like, yeah, all right, I will obey, because I don't have an option at this point. I might as well just do whatever he says because it's worked out for me before. So I go downstairs. My mom's like in the basement. Like before I go to Walmart, and I tell her I'm gonna go by myself. I gotta go by myself. God just told me. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad. She's like, listen, she's like, he already told me to tell you to go. And she told God, she not telling me nothing. And I'm like, what do you mean you told her you're not telling me? She's like, because you don't listen. And I'm like, okay, bet. That was pretty much like, I guess, confirmation that, yeah, I'm supposed to go by myself. She wanted me to go by myself. Girl, why you ain't go? Why you ain't go by yourself, ma'am? Anyway, so she was like, God already had told her that I need to go by myself. And she said to him, she not saying nothing to me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going. That very day that I realized that I got to go by myself, I booked my trip, and I booked a 2-week trip to Jamaica. Obviously, I went on that trip in secret, and sure enough, when I went on that trip, what was there for me but a house? And so I found the house right before my trip ended. The same day that I applied for the property, I got it. That was a miracle in itself, chat. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I have been looking up and down in Ottawa. I can't find a place. No way, no how. And the day that I applied for this place, I get it. Are you serious? And so when I got back home, it was on like Donkey Kong. But there was a problem. Obviously, Canada has its benefits. Like, I don't know, free healthcare. So obviously, I just figured, okay, well, I'm going to do my split, right? I'm going to do the 6-month split and travel back and forth. And so I was still opting to get a place in Canada, and I was still opting to go back to Canada. That was always my big plan. But baby, man plans and God laughs. Okay, like literally man plans and God laughs. So because I didn't plan this and it came out of nowhere, obviously I'm trying to figure, okay, well, now that I've secured a place and I can move into this place soon, and my lease had already ended a long time because I had been living in that house for what, 3 years. So my lease was, I was already month to month. I had pretty cool landlord, and because I had a restraining order, I was able to only give 30 days notice instead of 60 days, because typically you need 60 days notice when you're moving out of a property. But because of my restraining order, there's like a, I don't know if it's a law or a bylaw, girl, I don't know what it is called, but either way, you don't have to give 60 days notice when you have a domestic issue, right? You only got to give 30. I was waiting to the last minute to tell my landlord, baby, I ain't gonna be here much longer, okay? And he was a super cool landlord anyway, so he was cool about it. But I had to like tell him why I'm only giving 30 days notice and not the full 60. And he was like, oh, sorry to hear that, but okay, cool. I gave my little 30 days. He sent somebody to the house to like inspect it and stuff. And there was only minor like cosmetic things that needed to be adjusted or, you know, dealt with. When you're living in the house with toddlers, it's gonna be some things to fix. Okay, not too much. I'm very much on top of things when it comes to my kids. I'm not the type of mom that's gonna let them, you know, destroy the house. Because baby, I went into somebody's house one time, child, I had never been so shocked in my life. I'm sorry, it was too much. I don't know, ma'am, I ain't never seen anything like that in my life. I was like, yeah, no. I mean, it looked like I was in a trap because the kids just did whatever the hell they wanted to do to the walls. I said, well, no. Anyway, I don't get down like that. My kids, I make them wash the walls. As you see, remember, there used to be these little drawings behind me, and there might actually still be some stuff behind me, but like, I make the kids wash the walls when they be coloring on the stuff and the stickers and all that. No, the landlord was cool and he did what he do. Now, because I knew that I was going to be back and forth, or so I thought, because I knew that, I was like, okay, well, I'm trying to condense here. And I also know that I'm trying to find a smaller house in Canada still, right? So because I'm trying to do that, yes, I was going to have 2 places. So because I was going to do that, I knew that condensing meant that I couldn't take 5 bedrooms worth of things and squeeze them into a 3 to 4 bedroom house. It don't make sense, especially because I have 5 bedrooms and an office. Where am I supposed to put all this stuff? So obviously the items that I really love, because I had some really cool pieces, I'm gonna put those things into storage, and then I'll be able to furnish my house, because duh, need stuff. But this was yet another man plans, God laughs moment. Because what the hell? And so a lot is happening. Imagine how chaotic my world is at this point, because I am doing this all in secret. Obviously, God had told me and my mom, don't tell nobody anything. Don't tell them when you leaving. First of all, we didn't even have a leaving date yet, but like, don't tell, when you do know, don't tell nobody when you're leaving, not even your closest relative. Okay. And so people were actually getting upset with us, people that knew we were leaving, because we wouldn't tell them when we were leaving, but we were only being obedient to God when that was happening. He's like, don't tell anybody anything. You don't have time for my plans for your life to be getting thwarted or messed up by anybody. So don't tell them. If they ask, just be like, you don't know yet, which was true up until a point, right? And so when I got back home from Jamaica, it was, like I said, on like Donkey Kong, it was go time. I had to finish packing up my house, and we had to get our barrels sent off, which was another crazy process, packing the barrels and sending them off, which you guys did see some of that. The actual intensity of that situation was insanity. Like, me and my mom were on complete and utter Holy Spirit autopilot. Like, there's no way to describe the times other than that. So when I get back from Jamaica, we are packing up the house like you would not believe. But because we don't exactly know when we're leaving yet, it's like there's certain things that are not going to be able to go to the storage locker until the very last minute, right? And then there was other things that we're like, okay, well, we're not even going to put this in storage because we ain't got space for it once we do get a proper 3-bedroom house. So we are really just trying to figure out life. He would give us one task per day. Like, God would give us one task per day, and he would be like, this is what you're doing today, handle this. And that's how the transition went so smoothly, because we just listened for God's instruction. We would be on shifts, packing the barrels and moving stuff to storage and packing up the house or whatever. But as we were moving stuff to storage, we had this storage locker that was 5 by 12, right? So it was long, but it was just like a narrow like doorway. So it's kind of like a long closet, and it actually fits quite a bit of stuff. But we have this storage locker. It starts to get a little full, and ain't no furniture in there, okay? And so, baby, at this point, I can't even really tell you, what I was putting in there, because, I mean, I have 3 kids, I have my mom's stuff, I have my stuff. I don't even know, because I was on autopilot. I don't know what the frig I was putting in the storage locker, but it was getting a little packed, okay? Because of, my creative stuff, right? Like, I had like fabric in there, stuff to sew with. It was just odds and ends, So I'm tidying up certain rooms in my house. I'm tidying up my office. I'm tidying up this, tidying up that, and getting ready to move, right? Because now I have a place in Jamaica, but I still haven't found a place in Canada, and I need somewhere to put my stuff. Like, I'm not just gonna call junk removal and take everything out of my house, when actually I should have, but because they do donate the furniture, right? A lot was happening. We had no real like order outside of God. The storage locker gets full, but we still have this house full of furniture. And at this point now too, I book my barrels to get sent off. So I'm like, anytime after the barrels got sent off, we would be able to leave, because there was not going to be anything left in the house, right? We had already started, getting rid of stuff. First, I had to call junk removal, which I did, and they came, and I think I paid like $1,000, and they took a lot of stuff, like a lot. Like, I had a dining table that had a bench and chairs that came with it that I had purchased at the Bay. They took that. They took a dresser out of my kids' room. They took the kids' bed. So I had 2 single beds in the kids' room. They took the kids' beds. Brand new stuff, like brand spanking new stuff, because I never knew that my life was going to go in the direction that it went in, right? I never knew I was going to get divorced and, be single mom and all these things and have this ginormous house. I didn't know, girl. So, surprise, surprise. I'm now trying to figure out who made this big mess. Girl. So, I'm calling junk removal. Junk removal come. They do their thug thizzle. They get rid of some stuff. But the house is still full of furniture because me and my mom don't buy junk. Okay? I buy nice stuff. Mind you, my mom had just redone her bed for me. So, my mom had this bed since I was a child. Gorgeous bed. You know, they don't make furniture like this no more. And so originally it was like a dark wood color, and her and my aunt painted it black. It was so nice. And then they also took my end tables that I had purchased at Home Sense. They painted those black as well to match it. And so I had this brand new, well, refurbished, but I had a brand new bed set, right? Because I'm just getting back to me. I'm like, you know, my life had upgraded severely, like severely since I became single. You know, my life took off. And so I was getting all the things that I wanted before. I was treating myself. And there was just this era after I was newly single that everything that I wanted, I got for myself because I wasn't able to get it before. Like, do you know how long? When the iMacs came out in color, I eyed them and eyed them and eyed them and eyed them. And I'm like, oh my God, I want the purple one so badly. Do you guys remember when I unboxed the purple iMac? Like, that was such a big moment for me because I had wanted it for so long, and I finally was able to get it. And I was celebrating me, girl. I was celebrating being single. I was just being so happy. And so I got my purple iMac in October of 2022. But October, November, December, January, and I'm clearing my house out. That's 4 months. I didn't even, girl, I didn't even really get to use it like that. You know what I mean? Like, what? So I'm like kind of gagged a bit because what do you mean I gotta put my iMac in storage? I just got it because it couldn't fit in my suitcase. And when I was Googling how much it was, I was like on FedEx site trying to figure out how much it's gonna cost to ship the iMac. It was running like $800 to ship it to Jamaica, and I actually didn't even know how to ship it to Jamaica. Right now I know how, child. I was like, I'm gonna have to leave this behind. And so I was kind of sad about that because I'm like, oh my God. But I had, at the same time that I bought the iMac, I had just replaced I had at the same time purchased a laptop as well because I like to work on both. I would mainly edit on my iMac, and my mom would be using the laptop. So like the laptop really wasn't even really for me. It was just so that when I was traveling, I would have a laptop with me so that I could edit on the road. That was really why I bought the laptop. So literally my plans all had to do with Canada. They had nothing to do with Jamaica. Jamaica was just supposed to be a pit stop, girl. So yeah, so I'm there now, packing away all this stuff, and now I know that I'm leaving right after my barrels get sent off because ain't no furniture in my house. At this point, I ended up having to get a second storage locker because the furniture that we were putting in there was larger. So now I end up with 2 storage lockers. I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe having the storage lockers for now is the better option because it's cheaper than, you know, even paying rent, right? Because obviously if I was paying rent somewhere in Canada, it wouldn't be what I'm paying at the storage. Because at that time, the storage was like maybe 5 something for the 2 lockers, and that's a lot cheaper than a 3-bedroom. Right? That's why people be trying to live in them, right? So because it was cheaper, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stress about not finding an apartment. Once I get to Jamaica, I'll find an apartment from here. Once I get back to Canada, I put my stuff in the freaking apartment. I'll just keep it in storage for now. It'll be cheaper. Girl, it got to a point where, you know, we had been running out of time. There was still a lot of stuff that we weren't keeping, that junk removal didn't take, and that was gonna be too much to put into the storage. And so we were like, screw it, we'll just leave it in the house, which is not good. And I had a good relationship with my landlord, so I didn't really want to do that. I wouldn't classify it as garbage or junk. Like I said, we don't buy junk. It was nice stuff that we would have been leaving behind. I think 3 televisions mounted to the wall. Good TVs, okay? A Roku, all that. Like, it was serious. But we were out of time. We had like 2 weeks before we were supposed to go leave on a plane. At this point, all of our flights are booked. We're ready to go ASAP, okay? Like, this is how detailed God is. God literally told me that I have to book my trip for after Nola turns 2. I can't book it before she's 2 because we were doing all this before Nola was 2. She was still 1, but God was like, it's not gonna work if you try to book it. And he was not wrong, because I tried to book it before her birthday. It didn't work. I booked it the day after her birthday and it worked. So literally down to that detail. How the hell am I supposed to know that? When I tried to book it before she turned 2, when you put the birthday in to like book the tickets, it's like, oh, like Air Canada wants you to call them. But when I changed the date to the day after her birthday, it was like, you're going to Jamaica. And I was like, yes, okay. So I'm like, oh wow, like God really gave me strategy. Like, it's not a joke. It's not a game. Now, that also meant that Nola's not flying free. Before 2, your kids fly for free. After 2, you gotta pay. I'll tell you guys the airport story a different day, because girl, the day we left was something else. It was amazing. Amazing. Yeah, my house is still full of stuff. I gotta get rid of the stuff. Don't know how I'm gonna get rid of it. And me and my mom were like, what are we gonna do? Like, we'll just leave the TVs mounted on the walls. Who cares? The next tenant can have them. We don't need them. We had already told God, we're like, God, we're not attached to nothing. Anything that is stuff, we're not attached to it. Do what you will, Lord. Right? And so even as I was getting overwhelmed packing the lockers, I think he was trying to tell me that even the lockers don't make sense. But there was so much happening at once that, you know, sometimes I just couldn't hear God clearly enough, right? Because it was a really overwhelming time, as you can imagine. All that's going on. And like I said, we're just going to leave some of the stuff in the house. But God will send unusual help. We're talking to my aunt, and we tell her, yeah, like, you know, we're just gonna leave these things here because blah, blah, blah. But my aunt would often come to my house to help my mom with the kids. And so she was my second nanny. And so she had been to the house frequently, and my aunt knows, baby, first of all, not even just my aunt. First of all, anybody that comes to visit us, family, friends, we always send them out the door with stuff, okay? We are always giving stuff away, okay? So we always send them out the door with stuff, whether it be freaking makeup that I'm not using, because obviously I buy a lot of makeup for work, and then like I try stuff and I don't want it anymore, so I just give it away because I'm not gonna throw it in the garbage, right? Like, whenever people come, like they leave it with baskets of stuff, okay? That's anybody that comes to my house. You want this? Oh yeah, you can have that. You know what I mean? So this is what it was. So my aunt said, you doing what? She's like, my daughter is moving. She's moving into a new place. She need furniture. We finna come through. Baby, when I say they was at my house within 12 hours of talking on the phone, booked a truck, drove to my house, came with their tools, unmounted the TVs, because that was the thing. I was gonna have to pay to get the TVs unmounted. They came, they unmounted the TVs, they took furniture, whatever, baby, anything they could get their hands on that we were not keeping, that we were just gonna leave, baby, they came and cleared it out. And we were like, what a relief. Unusual help, okay? That's how we ended up getting rid of the rest of the stuff. Whatever you can think of, they left with it, okay? And we were so happy and grateful. Like, it was just amazing. And then, you know, I obviously had gotten 2 kittens when I first was newly single. You know, I thought my kids could use a little companion. And so I was then faced with like, what am I gonna do with these cats? Because I didn't want to obviously abandon them, like bring them to the shelter. And so my best friend, she calls me, because obviously she knows I'm moving. She calls me out of nowhere and tells me she's taking the cats. And I'm like, huh? Like, I didn't ask her. You know, I'm not going to burden anybody with that. You know, I was going to try to find them a new home. If I couldn't find them a new home on my own, I was going to have to bring them to the shelter, right? She was like, yeah, she'll take my cats for me. I could have cried, because like it was literally like a week before we were supposed to leave. And she calls me out of the blue and tells me that. And I'm just like beside myself, because I had been praying, obviously, and being like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? I was stressed about it. But God is always gonna send the answer, child, before you even ask the question, period. And so that happened. And so things are just moving smoothly. Like, I'm not planning none of this. It's all just going like butter, baby. It's just smooth, girl. And so I'm impressed, okay? I'm like, I know that's right, God. All in all, we end up with 3 storage lockers because we also had a lawnmower. My mom had just bought the lawnmower and the weed whacker because we had this huge freaking yard. And so my mom used to just, it was like a the lawnmower was sick. And so it kind of mowed by itself. My mom had bought that because it was too much for her to like have to like push. We had to put that in storage because obviously we gonna need that, right? Like, we're gonna get a house in Canada too. So we put all this stuff in storage. I ended up with 3 storage lockers. It costed me like $600 something a month. And you know, the next week we're flying out. We're leaving for Jamaica. Okay, cool. My hair is, you know, doing its like thistle. I have these 3 storage lockers, right? My stuff's in there. I got an air tag inside of the box of my computer to make sure it don't go nowhere, okay? So, you know, periodically I be checking on my stuff through the air tag because respectfully, I really didn't care about nothing in that damn storage locker but my damn computer, okay? In like my big locker, I put my vanity in there. You guys know my impressions vanity with the lights and my little makeup table. I put a lot of stuff in there. My bedroom set, my mom's furniture, nice couches. Like, we got rid of our living room set, but I had this asymmetrical couch. You guys have seen it in photos before, and I kept that because I love that couch. I had just purchased an ottoman for my room, so like I had this shearling ottoman and it was so nice, and it cost me a pretty penny, girl. And there was a few ottomans in there. There was this really nice ottoman that my mom had just purchased as well for her yoga room. You know, good pieces of furniture were in the storage locker, and we were holding on to them because, like I said, we were planning to get a place in Canada. So then, you know, time goes by. We get to Jamaica. It's problems right away. It's problems right away. They just try to tell me come back to Canada. I'm like, I'm coming back. They're like, no, now. I'm like, I'm not coming back now. I'm coming back when I'm supposed to come back. They're like, no, you need to get back over here now. I'm like, absolutely the frig not. And then it just turned into this big thing. And then I realized, oh, I'm not going to get to go back anytime soon. So then I'm paying for the storage, right? Well, most people after a while stop paying for their storage, but baby, I ain't got time for stuff to be messing up my credit and anything like that. So I was never about to stop paying for storage. But in January of 2024, they put the storage prices up, girl. So I went from paying $600 something because I ended up with 3 lockers. I ended up paying $799. I'm paying $800 for storage every month, baby. And they just taking off the credit card, and I'm just like, all my stuff is in storage and I can't even enjoy the fruits of my labor. So we're paying for the storage, and you know, I'm not happy that I can't, you know, go back to Canada to get my stuff. Literally nobody lives in Ottawa, so it's like the person that would be able to like send us stuff, they don't live in Ottawa. We would have to find a way to get our stuff to that person to get it on a freaking cargo ship and send it over. Girl, what is in my eye? And that is a lot. Cost a lot. Even with returning residency, it would cost a pretty penny, right? Because, you know, Jamaica is a cash society. Everybody needs to get their little check. Okay, so pretty much I'm looking at the storage locker and I'm looking at my credit card and I'm like, oh, there goes another $800 because it's prorated. So they don't take it, you know, when the dates that you moved in. Like, say I moved in on like the 28th, they don't take it on the 28th, girl. They take it on the 1st of the month, like rent. Okay, so they are just, you know, taking it every single month. I got the storage in probably February. From February of 2023 to present day, $800 a month. Pretty much, right? $800 a month. And so, you know, I've been paying for the storage, and when it was like 6 months into it and I realized I'm not gonna be going back to Canada like anytime soon, I was like, okay, well, we need to figure out what's happening with the storage because I'm not trying to be paying for my storage for 10 years, like, no, or however long, you know, because I don't know what's happening. So I'm like, I'm not trying to be paying for storage forever and a day. God starts talking to me again and letting me know where there's a will, there's a way. And this storage situation is going to be, you know, figured out by midway through this year. Because when they started charging me the $800 in January, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not paying $800 for the whole year. I want this situated by June. By June it must be situated. Okay, that's what I said, and I meant it. And so in April, I started trying to figure out, okay, how am I getting the storage locker empty? Because ain't nobody can do it. There's nobody there that can do it. Okay, and I didn't want to burden anybody. I'm the type of person that, like, I'm not gonna burden you with my problems. So I don't want to call in no favors. I don't want to ask nobody to do anything. And so this angel baby, we'll call her that for now. She goes, she scopes it out, and we see what we're working with. And, you know, me and my mom get to talking. We're like, okay, we're gonna take some of these items and get them shipped over here and keep them. And then, you know, our personal items, some of our, you know, furniture that we just don't want to get rid of, we're gonna send it over here. And the rest of the stuff, pretty much a free garage sale again. So this is the second time we're like, we're just gonna give people the stuff that we don't want because it's really nice stuff, right? Like, it's stuff that should not be sitting in nobody's Goodwill, Value Village, Salvation Army. It's stuff that should not be over there. Okay, like, this should be displayed in somebody's home. Okay, so that was our MO. But baby, that's not what God had planned for us. Again, okay, gagged us. So we're like, all right, let's start the thing. And we get the ball rolling. And we're like, first of all, this is not a 1-person, 2-person job. We need a team of people. Where are we supposed to get this team of people from? And so, like I said, at first we were like, oh, we're keeping this, we're keeping that. But we quickly realized how much stress we were under, and we're like, yeah, it's not gonna work that way. So I started praying about it because I just didn't know what to do. So I was like, oh, let me go pray. When I don't know what to do, I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to God real quick, okay? And so he was just like, girl, let it go. And I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not touching nothing. I'm not shipping no ginormous furniture. I'm not doing it. So just forget that. Ixnay on that. We conclude that we're gonna have another yard sale with no sale. Okay, like, sure, we could have put it on Facebook Marketplace or wherever the frig, you know, but it was gonna take too long because there's no guarantee that, you know, somebody is going to purchase it. And so, you know, called in a few favors, and a lot of people came through, took what they wanted, and got our lockers emptied, period. But I was so stressed about these lockers, okay, like getting them emptied, right? Because it was just like, oh, people would be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a truck up there for you. People from Toronto, I'm gonna take a truck up there for you and get the stuff because I know you have nice furniture. Like, my mom's friend was saying that. There was a slight issue. A bunch of the stuff in the locker were wrapped in blankets to keep them safe, right? Like, during the move, and they just keep the blankets on them, and then when you're returning the locker, you give back the blankets. So this person wanted to see pictures of the stuff, but they were all wrapped and packed into the locker, and like, it would have been too much to unwrap the stuff and take pictures. Like, there was no time for that. We're in crunch time. We need to get it done by a certain date, you know, because also, if the earlier I get it done, the more money I get back. So like, if I get it done the first week of June, I'm gonna get back a whole lot of money. If I get it done the last week of June, baby, I'm only gonna get back $7. And so what happened was, in May, one of my lockers empty, so that brought the price down. Child, it brought it down to the devil, $666.20. Okay, so so 2 lockers is costing me $666. Okay, the devil is lie. Got 1 locker emptied, got rid of a bunch of the stuff, you know, had people come take what they wanted, and then we still had to figure out the rest of the stuff. So as we're figuring out the rest of the stuff, God sends unusual help. Because me and my mom are sat there strategizing. We're like, what are we gonna do? Who can we call to help us empty these lockers? You know, we don't want to call anybody, but we have no choice. My mom's friend was kind of following through because she wanted pictures of the stuff to show her people. She was telling her friends that there was this storage locker with stuff in it and blah, blah, blah. And so the friends wanted to see pictures of stuff. Not necessarily my mom's friend, but my mom's friends' friends wanted to see pictures of stuff. And we were like, we don't have time for that. Okay, just go up there and see if you want anything and take it, girl. We ain't got time. Obviously, that just wasn't panning out. And so once again, my best friend, we're just on a regular phone call. Okay, we are just on a regular call. She's telling me about her life. I'm telling her about my life, but I don't bring up the storage lockers. And my friend comes up out of her mouth, just like with the cats. My friend comes up out of her mouth and she's like, wait, what about your storage lockers? And I'm like, I know you lying. I literally, my friend will vouch for this. I didn't bring up the storage lockers. I was never going to ask her to go up there. None of that. I'm not going to burden my friend with that. And so she asked me about my storage lockers, and I was like, well, funny you bring it up because we're actually trying to get them emptied right now. And so she tells me she'll go up there with a truck. And I'm like, is it God? God, is that you? He once again sent my best friend in the whole entire world. I tell you, what were we talking about? She was telling me about her boo thing. She's telling me about her boo and randomly brings up my storage lockers. And so I tell her what's going on with them, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go up there. And I'm just like, again, wanting to cry because it's just like, how? Like, God is just so good to me. My bestie is so good to me. He's blessed me with this girl. She's been my best friend for, is it 20 years yet? 15 plus years we've been besties, and she just always shows up for me. Like, this girl would, when I lived in Ottawa, she would drive 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 45 minutes. She would drive, come see me, hang out with the kids, and then go home same day. Other times she would sleep over, but like most times she would drive up with the kids and then take her butt back home same day. Like, who does that? My bestie, okay? And so everybody knows I work from home, so you know, people know that they could, like, she's the only person that I won't mind if she calls me and is like, I'm coming to your house today, and I'd be like, okay, cool. You know, anybody else, they'll be out. But when she tells me she's coming to Ottawa, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I miss you so much. But that's my dog. That's my dog for sure. Okay, anyway, she came through with the come through. And so as of today, I am storage free. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Okay, thank you to all the great hands that have helped. And so not only did she go up to empty my lockers, but my cousin and her man, they went up, emptied out the locker. Another couple went there and they did their whole house, chat. They furnished their whole house with the stuff that was in my lockers, and I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. God bless them. Okay, I am so happy to be free of my storage lockers. If I had known what the hell was actually going on, I wouldn't have got no damn storage lockers now. I would have just gave away everything when we were initially giving stuff away. But like, there was just stuff I really loved and I didn't want to give them away. So I was keeping them. You know, I was keeping them from my alleged home in Ottawa that never came. Yeah, as of today, I'm storage free and I'm very happy about it. And that was surely an anchor because it was my last like real tie to Canada. It was like a real burden. Every time they charged me for it, I was just like, oh my God, because it's like, that's $800 I could be putting towards my children. $800 I could be putting towards groceries or tuition, like every single month. And I'm not seeing my stuff. My stuff is sitting there collecting dust. Like, storage is actually very stupid. So if I had obviously known what the future was going to hold, I wouldn't have put so much stuff in there. Like, maybe if I had one storage locker and it was maybe, I don't know, $200, I wouldn't be crying boo-hooing about it, and I wouldn't feel like it was such a dagger in my side every single time I saw that charge on my credit card. But because it was $800, I'm like, yeah, no, empty that, get that out of here. Okay, like, I'm talking beautiful, like, full-length mirrors. We have gold ones and black ones. My house was full of mirrors. Silver ones, girl, antique ones. There was mirrors everywhere. So many like little cabinets. You know, my office stuff, like my nail table, gone with the wind fabulous. My gumball machine, my couch, my mom's other couch that was like a pull-up bed that she had in her yoga room. Like, all the yoga room stuff went to other people. My mom's bed set, my bed set. My mom had these mirrored nightstands, gorgeous nightstands, and she gave them away, child. Gave away a whole living room set. What else did we give away, child? TVs, more TVs were in storage, so we gave those away. Just, you know, swinging egg chairs, or actually rotating egg chair. My pink chair from my office, which I wanted that here. My vanity, Gone with the Wind Fabulous. And so this whole entire experience really, for the time we moved and like started living like the simple life, I realized how much we overconsume in Canada. Like, it's a lot of overconsumption. We had a lot of stuff, and where's it now, child? In other people's houses. Okay, like, like, who? 5 TVs? What I need 5 TVs for? I got 2 eyes. Okay, there was literally a TV in every room except for my bedroom and my kids' room. So my mom had a TV in her room. There was a TV in the guest room. There was a TV in the yoga room, and there was a TV downstairs, and there was a TV in the basement. Who needs that many damn TVs? And now we got 1 TV, but we definitely need at least 2, because sometimes the kids be wanting to watch TV, and I don't want to watch TV. I'm like, go watch your iPad, chat. We got 1 TV, but I'm finna get another one because I can't. I need another TV in this house. There was a lot of stuff that I got rid of, and I just feel so light and airy like a feather blowing in the wind, yeah? Like, just, girl, very happy to have gotten rid of all that stuff. Yeah, I gave away all my things. I gave away all my things. And of course, you guys know, one of the things that I had to give away, which I didn't give it away, I sold it, was my truck, right? And so literally the day before I left Canada, I sold my truck. I sold my truck for like 50 grand, got rid of it, you know, paid the loan off, and I literally got rid of everything, you know, to get my little peace and to live peaceful under a palm tree. And so shout out to this shirt, because this shirt is very much giving like, well, I'm wearing a corset, but you can't see. Hold on, chair. Let me give you all the full tea. Hey, Miss Machi Machi, you are murder. Okay, so it's obviously that's not the lyrics of the song, but that's neither here nor there. She's living peaceful under a palm tree. Baby, I don't need all the stuff. Okay, now getting rid of my truck was probably the easiest thing that I was able to get rid of. Okay, everything else was very much a thorn in my side. But my truck was easy to get rid of. I just drove it to this place and was like, you want to buy it? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, cool. The cool thing about my car was that it was in high demand because they don't be making them. And the type of car that I had, the way that they built it, they don't have a lot of those ones. So that's why I was able to sell it for as much as I sold it for. But yeah, I got rid of everything. And then I moved, and then I got rid of everything again. Okay, so I have nothing left in Canada. Praise the Lord. I got nothing left over there, girl. She's free as a bird. And yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend. I mean, when I did the math from February of 2023 to June of 2024, I was paying for the storage lockers. When you add up all that damn money, and I paid it every single month, because if you don't pay it, maybe they're gonna change the lock on there and get rid of your stuff. And I didn't have time for that, because my intention was to go and get my stuff. So I didn't have time for that. I'm going for my stuff, so why wouldn't I pay for my storage? Yeah, didn't happen that way. So, you know, it is what it is, but new beginnings, I guess. I'm gonna make sure that I don't miss my last dose of this damn antibiotic. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's why I was missing for 11 days. And that was a little story time about me kind of moving to Jamaica and getting rid of my stuff. And I had to get rid of my stuff again. And how this is why I don't be planning the stuff, because you just don't really know what is gonna happen in my life. My life is very much a surprise. Okay, surprise. I don't know whatever is gonna be happening. Okay, so don't be asking me. Okay, go bring it to the Lord, girl. Ask the Lord. Say, God, what are you doing in Bougie's life? What are you doing? Because that's what I be doing. Lord, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, I love you all so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time, and I will definitely see you in the next one.